History is often written by the victors, but the best stories are usually about losers. For decades, anime fans have argued about the greatest of all time. We look at the dark fantasy of Berserk, we looked at the endless world building of One Piece, and we look at the political chess matches of Attack on Titan or Code Geass. But quietly, sitting at the top of manga rankings, often rated higher than them all, has been a ghost. A story that fans sees was impossible to animate. A story that is too weird, too detailed, and too expensive for any studio to touch. It doesn't feature one chosen hero, it features a failure. A genius jockey named Johnny Joestar, a man who had fame, fortune, and admiration of the world, and lost it all in a single second because of his own arrogance. He starts this story paralyzed, broken, lying in the mud while the world moves on without him. But on March 19, 2026, the silence ends. Netflix isn't just releasing an anime. They are releasing a gritty, violent 1890s western, 3,000 racers, 6,000 kilometers from San Diego to New York, a grand prize of $50 million, and a race that will cost our hero his soul. Welcome to the Steel Ball Run. So why the internet losing its mind over this? To understand the hype, you have to understand the context. Most of us are used to shonen anime. And look, I love Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer, but let's be honest, they followed a formula. A teenager gets power, he goes to a school, he fights demons, he shouts the name of his attacks. It's fun, but it's predictable. The author of JoJo, Hirohiko Araki, looked at the formula and said, no thanks. Instead, he decided to write a love letter to Clint Eastwood movies. Steel Ball Run is set in 1890s America. There are no high schools here. There is only dysentery, horses, and revolvers. Let's talk about the setup, because it is insane. The Steel Ball Run is a transcontinental horse race organized by a mysterious promoter named Steven Steve. The route, San Diego to New York City. The terrain, the blistering Mojave Desert, the freezing Rocky Mountains, the Great Plains, and the competitors. This isn't just about our main characters. The race drives the weirdest people on Earth. You have Pocoloko, a man who doesn't even want to race but was told by a fortune teller he would get lucky. You have Sandman, a Native American runner who enters the race on foot because he wants to buy his tribe's land back. You have Diego Brando, a British genius, and I'm not kidding, he might actually be a dinosaur. The world feels alive, it feels dangerous, and because it's a race, the momentum never stops. In other anime, characters stand around talking for 3 episodes. Here, if you stop moving, you lose. If you stop moving, you die. But a setting is only as good as the eyes we see it through. And this brings us the most controversial part of the story. Our protagonist, Johnny Joestar. If you go into that expecting a hero like Tanjiro or Naruto, someone who is pure-hearted and wants to protect his friends, you are going to be shocked. Johnny is, well, he's an asshole. At the start of the story, he's a rich, spoiled brat. He's a horse racing prodigy who looks down on everyone. There is a specific scene in the beginning where he cuts a line at the theater, kicks a guy out, and treats his date like a necessary. He thinks he is untouchable, but the universe has a way of humbling people. Johnny gets into a stupid argument. A gun is pulled, a shot is fired, and just like that, the prodigy is paralyzed from the waist down. The scenes that follows are brutal to watch. He loses his sponsors. His friends stop calling him. His father looks at him with shame. We see him lying in the hospital bed, realizing that his life is over. He isn't fighting a demon lord. He is fighting the reality that he will never walk again. This is what makes Steel Ball Run a masterpiece. It grounds the fantasy in real human pain. We don't root for Johnny because he's a good guy. We root for him because we know what it feels like to lose something. He has zero hopes until he sees a strange man at the starting line of the race. A man with golden teeth, a weird laugh, a 2 steel balls spinning at his hip. This is Gyro's belly. Johnny watches Gyro fights off the challenger using T spinning balls. And in the chaos, Johnny accidentally touches one of them. And for a split second, his legs move. This is the hook. Johnny drags his paralyzed body through the mud to enter this race. He doesn't care about $50 million. He doesn't care about fame. He looks Gyro in the eye and says, I just wanted to know what that spin is. He calls his life -1. He isn't trying to reach positive. He is just desperate to get back to 0. But Johnny can't walk this path alone. As Johnny represents the harsh, cold reality of the world, this man represents the magic. Enter Gyro's belly. Gyro is without a doubt one of the most charismatic characters ever written. He has cold teeth that says, go, go, Zibelli. He makes terrible jokes. He has a weird laugh, but don't let the goofiness fool you. He is a master executioner from the kingdom of Naples, and he fights using the spin. Now, in most anime, power systems are just magic. You have chakra, tea, haki. It's basically just energy blasts. The spin is different. It's math. It's based on the golden ratio, the perfect spiral found in nature, in flowers, in seashells. Gyro throws his steel balls with such perfect rotational energy that they manipulate physics. They can harden skin, distort space, or control muscles. But the reason you will watch this show isn't for the math. It's for the friendship, because the race is so long. We spend hours just watching Johnny and Gyro camp by the fire. We watch them drink bad coffee. We watch them argue about girls. There is a famous singing, which I pray Netflix animates, where Gyro writes a song about Pisan mozzarella cheese. It is stupid. It serves no plot purpose. But Johnny loves it. It makes these characters feel like real human beings, not just plot devices. You stop caring about who wins the $50 million you just want these to survive the trip. But this is JoJo's story, and that means there is a darkness waiting at the finish line. About halfway through the series, the genre shifts again. The character realizes that the Steel Ball Run race is actually a Korok. The organizer isn't just looking for a winner. He's looking for ancient relics, piece of holy corpse, scattered across the American continent, and the man hunting them, the 23rd President of the United States, Funny Valentine. Funny Valentine is often voted the greatest villain in the manga history, right next to Griffin from Berserk. Why? Because unlike most villains who want to destroy the world, Valentine wants to save it. He is patriot, loves America. He believes that if he gathers the holy corpse, he can create a barrier around his country that deflects all misfortune to other parts of the world. He wants to make his people safe at the cost of everyone else. He justifies this with one of the most famous monologues in the fiction, the Napkin Speech. He says, suppose that you sit at table. The napkins are in front of you. Which napkin do you take? The one on your left or the one on your right? He explains that the one who takes the first napkin determines the rules for everyone else at the table. Valentine believes that power doesn't come from strength. It comes from being the one who act first. Then here's the conflict that will mess with your head. On one side, you have Johnny Joestar, a selfish, dark-haired hero who just wants to walk again. On the other side, you have a president who wants to bring prosperity to his nation. When day finally flashes, you aren't just watching a fight, you are watching a philosophical war. And because of Valentine's ability, D4C, which allows him to hop between parallel dimensions, he is essentially mortal. How do you defeat a man who can replace himself with a fresh version of himself every time he gets hurt? I'm going to be careful here, because the ending of the arc is something you need to experience blind. But I will say this, Steel Ball Run is a story about the true man's world. In the world of shonen anime, usually, if you scream loud enough, you win. If you believe in your friends, you survive. Araki wrote Steel Ball Run to deconstruct that. In the true man's world, action have consequences. Growth requires sacrifice. Johnny starts the race as a boy who blames the world for his problems. Why me? Why did I get paralyzed? By the end of the race, he stops blaming. He realizes that to walk truly, he has to carry the weight of his own sins. The art style evolves with the story. In the beginning, the characters look soft by the end. They look gritty, tired, and covered in scars. You feel every single one of those 6,000 kilometers when March 26 hits. And this story finally reaches the screen. Do not treat it like just another seasonal anime. It is a western, it is a tragedy, it is a comedy. It is the story of man who travel across a continent just to find himself. My advice, if you can't wait until 26, read the manga. The art is some of the best ever put on paper. But if you do wait, get ready, because spawns the starting gun fires. There is no turning back. If you are excited for the Steel Ball Run, hit the like button so more people can find this masterpiece. And let me know in the comments, do you think Johnny is a hero or a villain? I am Arkex, and I'll see you at the finish line. Arigato Gyro.